All right, everyone. So today is the 11th of May 2026, and it's going to be a really interesting week this week because we also have some interesting news, of course. But we'll get into the data, news, and charts after I mention that this content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making financial decisions. With that being said, let's just get really quick over a few tweets. What I found interesting, well, of course, Robert keeps talking about a big upcoming crash. And what he's saying is basically he's warning about a 2026 crash while pushing silver like is lining up with a broader hard assets narrative emerging across markets. So what he's saying is he thinks that assets like gold, silver will keep well pushing higher, of course, while the other stocks indices are going to crash pretty badly. Yeah, I honestly I'm on the same page with this guy. I believe that that's definitely a possibility. I mean, some people usually invest into gold and silver when economical situation is bad. Now, if we look at Cointelegraph, they just posted here about oil surging over 3% after Trump rejects Iran's response to the U.S. proposal. So this is very, very interesting because uh, oil ripping plus falling inventories, we can see here, alert, world oil reserves are falling fast. So if we combine these two together, inflation fears creeping back into the market. And that usually pressures risk assets short term. But historically, it's funny that it boosts commodities, miners, silvers, and energy plays. So if tensions escalate further, traders could rotate hard into real assets, while equities and crypto, you know what that happens with crypto and equities. So yeah, sorry, this is a big piece of information here because this is I don't think this is gonna go away anytime soon. The oil problem. Trump doesn't seem to want this war to end unless it ends on his terms, right? So we definitely have to take this into consideration. And I'm not even mentioning anything else, like any other factors other than this. But there's many more factors that would point to a pretty big crash in the markets. Now, I've also seen some news about the Clarity Act. I just have a feeling that people are expecting this so badly that the price is already like the Bitcoin price is already priced in, if you know what I mean. So I'm not expecting a huge pump in case it actually gets passed. And in that case, if it doesn't even get passed, well, then it's gonna be even uglier than I'm expecting. Now, if we look, I wanted to check real quick. Yeah, the 24-hour liquidation. You can see that longs are starting to get, well, liquid as well. I've seen what happened last evening in I believe it was the Asia session. They pumped the markets and then dumped them down. But it's funny that still shorts uh, got more liquid than longs. What I also found interesting is that the daily exchange volume on the 7 day it did rise a bit to the 31 billion almost. So this is good for the bulls, I guess. ETFs, yeah, still nothing. And if I go up, yeah, you can see the market is still in the uncertain area or doubt. Now, another piece of important information is the liquidation heat map. Like, we really have to take this into consideration. You can see on the 3 month, most of the liquidity is sitting below. There's not much on the upside. And if I look on the 6 month, so we can see it broader in a broader picture. Yeah, there is some on the upside as well. 85K. There's a cluster here at 85K. Also, not really there. Yeah, so it starts again from 93. Now, obviously, if price is gonna get to the 85K level, I'm expecting big time shorters to come in. Like they're definitely gonna step in at around these levels. But if we also look at the downside, there's quite a bit of liquidity stacked all the way to the 64K. And even if you look at the liquidation map here on the 180 days, well, there's quite a few at 91, like I said. It starts from here. But look on the downside. There's almost 15 billion at 69,000, right? Yeah, so there's definitely more. Almost double. Actually, it's double, yeah. So somewhere around that, it's almost double to the downside. So in my opinion, I'm definitely expecting a at least a retrace from here, right? So even if it doesn't fully crash from here, I'm expecting at least a retrace. Now, if we look on the daily, let me just get rid of this really quickly. Okay, if we look on the daily, not much has changed. Over the weekend, we did push a bit higher. We're still below this resistance level, um, which is good, right? That we're still below this resistance level. We're still, I believe we're still below the VWAP. If we take it from the high here, yeah, we're still below the VWAP. We're still below the resistance. So yeah, I believe this is still a decent area to short. Maybe if you want to wait a bit longer, if you don't want to short now, maybe wait for it to get to the 85K. Maybe it takes that liquidity as well. If we look on the EMA, we can see also that, oh, it did touch the EMA almost. It did touch it now. So yeah, we have some confluence here. Let me just see, did it touch it? No, it didn't. Okay, so it still did not touch the EMA. Sorry, the MA, not the EMA, the MA. Yeah, so even if it does break a bit higher from here, I'm still expecting it to retrace afterwards. Not a full dump. Well, I'm expecting a big crash, yes. But even if it doesn't do that, I'm expecting it at least, let me just get to the 4 hourly, at least to somewhere around, let's take this swing. Yeah, like I said in the last video as well, somewhere around 78 to 79,000. Like at least this area. Even though I think it's gonna be like a domino effect. Once we crush these levels, it can even form a M pattern here, which will push price, well, somewhere around here probably, 75,000, which aligns also with the previous resistance. So we could have some reaction around these levels. I'm personally I'm expecting some reactions around this level. Now on the 4 hourly, well, on the daily as well, we can clearly see that we had a double top. Like at least so far, it's been holding this double top scenario, unless we pump higher. But even if we do, to be honest, we could just take out this liquidity from here and then dump. Maybe on the New York session. Now, if we look on the hourly, what I'm waiting for is to go below this this swing here and create a market structure shift on the hourly. And then I might be considering a position from here. But up until then, it's still looking decent for the bulls, I guess. So no positions for me so far, and I'm not even adding to my shorts, not yet. I'm waiting for the 84 85K, and there I would definitely be looking at something more. So yeah, I'll see you in tomorrow's video.